Hey there! So today we have another review, and this is a fun one. Look at that beautiful label right over there. That's a really awesome label. And so this is our first craft brewery from Mexico. This is Formidable Adventure. This is 11% barley wine, and this is from Mexico. So this is Compañía Cervecera. So that's like beer company, and it's Hércules, Santiago de Querétaro. So it's Hércules is beer company in Mexico. This is imported by Shelton Brothers. Shelton Brothers, unfortunately, is no longer with us. Such an important importer. Cantillon, Brasserie de la Seine, so many important, like, you guys supposed to come to those, like, how important Shelton Brothers is to the many beers that you guys have tried. And so this is an 11% barley wine. I mean, man, look at that label. Love the art on that. That's fantastic. And this is a collaboration with Melvin. And they had an extra sticker on there. So where's this actually brewed? Hecha en Mexico. So this is made in Hércules, Querétaro, Mexico. Okay, interesting. Collaboration with Melvin. Famous, they're out of Wyoming, West Coast brewery. And yeah, so first off, this is barley wine. And so this is brewed with... Es Barleywine con ralladura de naranja madurada con madera y mezcal. So it's orange peel. I have to look that one up. So ralladura, didn't know that one. Orange peel, and then it's matured with Madeira and mezcal, and then they have tasting notes. Is there tasting notes on this guy? Anyway, really interesting. By the way, this is recommended by a new store called the Can and Bottle Shop in Winter Springs, by where I work in Orlando-ish. And new store, just opened about a month or two ago. And recommend this guy. He's a barley wine fan, and let's see how this one turns out. So, you smell it here, from here. Pretty standard kind of color. Comes in a medium amber. Nice carbonation rising on that one. Fluffy white head. Really nice kind of like golden, deep gold to light amber hue to it. Yeah, actually more like light amber, yeah. Looks nice, looks fantastic. That's barley wine. All the rich malt notes. I mean, it's malts for days. Malts, get like almost like toasted almond thing going on. There's a lot of kind of like, what is that? Like booze soaked white raisins, like cake notes, like fruit cake, some booze on that, like really like sweet aromatic kind of booze. Thick sweet kind of caramel notes, toffee, and then the barrel character. And the Madeira is going this like vinous tone, really sweet kind of like aged, oxidized wine thing. Mezcal I don't really get. Maybe a little bit like a hint of tequila thing, but not really that kind of like smoky, intense mezcal thing. They got like that agave liquor thing. It smells really rich, like bold. Really great nose for barley wine. Cheers. Okay, that plays somewhere in between English and American. So for sure, this thing is not super bitter. It plays in the range that a lot of American breweries do, which is make an American barley wine, then age it. So you press out those like really intense, kind of bitter hop notes. Thinking about like something like Sierra Nevada Bigfoot. This is more tamed down, leans a little bit like English barley wine, but not as sweet. Just a sweet beer though. Really nice alcohols. It's drying from the alcohol, but man, it's a dangerously drinkable beer at 11. Wow. Well constructed beer, really like it. That hint of like just like ethanol, just like crisps on the back end, just like drives everything away. It's not a very thick beer, but like really nice complexity. It's almost like a Belgian barley wine, like that kind of intense sweetness up front, and those really interesting kind of like play of like. I mean, Belgian would be the ester and phenols here. There are probably some esters here, but it's the complexity of the beer, and then it dries out really nicely. So it's like stupid dangerous. Yeah. So it doesn't actually taste Belgian, but it's constructed in a Belgian mindset, if that makes any sense. But then again, that's what you do when you barrel age imperial stout, barley wine. So the barrel character is really nuanced. You don't get the big general notes you get from barrel aged wine, which is like char, coconut, and vanilla, and all these intense notes. It's actually like not very obvious that's barrel aged, but it has age on it. So like it shows that it probably was a much bitter beer at some point, but like really came down to a pretty place of where this beer is. Nice recommendation. This is for barley wine fanatics. This is very tasty. It's just like, it has the rich complexity of the Maillard, but doesn't linger too much. And then you get a little bit of this kind of like wood chip thing, like woody kind of tannic thing on the back end. The fruitiness is a little bit more nuanced. And then it's like boozy on the back end with like really just like perfectly placed bitterness. It's not like overly bitter like an American barley wine, but just puts, you know, a nice stamp on the beer. Wow, really well built beer. It's like super, super, super refined. It's like dumb drinkable. If anything, I think the beer actually lacks a little bit of character. I really think it could use a little bit more going on than really just tasting like malt water with some booze, barrel character, and a little bit of sweetness. Because that is sort of what it is, but like it's also like really like nice. If that makes sense. It's hard to like describe. That's my job for you guys. So what am I doing? A little bit of like dried date character, a little bit of like golden raisin thing, a nice kind of like smack of caramelly sweetness. As you wait, there's like a brown sugar hint that comes in, and then it hits you with this kind of like really nice placed ethanol thing again. Booziness is great in certain ways. The booziness of the beer offers this kind of like sweetness that this beer needs, and then it helps clean up the beer too, and then hits with that bitterness too. It's just a really like well-made beer. I think a lot of people would be wanting more kind of like bombastic flavors, more sweetness, more caramel, more of that kind of like where there's sweetness and like just like or more of that like Madeira and like just like sweet, sticky, complex dark fruit notes. As I drink it more drinks like a somewhere in between a Belgian Golden Strong and a Belgian Strong Dark. So like somewhere in between like, you know, a Duvel and a Rochefort, right? Like you blend those two, somewhere hitting there, but it's not as fruity, it's not as Belgian-y, not as phenolic, but it's bold and dry and drinkable. Wow, what a tasty beer. What impressive beer. Beers like this, it's all about impression. Or not all about impression. It has great impression for me, at least. Again, if you're like into this kind of stuff, you're gonna love this one. It's very specific for an audience that's looking for like a really refined barley wine that's really drinkable, has really nice kind of like just like refined notes in it versus something that's gonna punch you over the head, because generally that's what you get with a barley wine. So I'm like yammering about barley wine. So this one for me gets a solid 96. I think it's absolutely fantastic. That's a world-class beer. That's crazy. Formidable adventure from Hércules Beer Company from Mexico. Crazy stuff. I don't even taste it. Now I'm looking at it. I don't get any of the orange peel at all. That's probably helping out with the fruitiness and the complexity of the beer. It's absolutely fantastic. This is a huge surprise. First craft brewery from Mexico that I'm trying. And this is killer stuff. Until next time, guys, cheers. Let me know if you've had this beer. If you have access to it, try it out. It is so tasty. So for the Barleywine fans, Barley Wine is life. Until next time, 96 for me. Cheers. Later.